think for a lot of people, their concept of her might be as a keen observer or somebody who was able to sort of see things and put into words what other people couldn't. But I think what this film shows is that she was a performer. She was just as much a part of making that history and making that art as she was sort of filtering her own experiences. What was it like to go through and find that footage of her singing and beyond just what people may know from Roots or from her other work?
I mean, it was like a lot of films like this, it was a huge detective hunt. When we came across the Calypso Heatwave, that was a great revelation because the black and white, that beautiful footage of her singing and dancing, just things like that show, you want to show it. You don't want to just talk about it. You want to see it. You want to see her sing. You want to hear her sing. And I think you're right, though, that all those things that she did in her life added up to so much. All those things, all those somewhat disparate things all created that body of work that she later was able to write about so eloquently. It's all those things combined. Most of us wouldn't have a little tiny bit of that, I don't think, but she did it all.
I think one of the things that we find as filmmakers is when you look into a story that is that well lived, the archival that exists in the culture, we want it to drop you into a time period. And because you see that it is totally narrated by her. We made that decision early on. That meant we had to delve into the archives because you don't hear a voice that said, she learned how to write by doing this, but we kind of comb you through her life. And so part of that archival, especially for filmmakers here and IDA members, we went through over 4,000 pictures to get the 314 that you see. We went close to 200 hours of footage for the 29 minutes that you see. And then she had 7 autobiographical memoirs, 5 of which she did the audio for. So what you hear is her voice when she was 45, her voice when she was 60, and how you feel about your mother at those ages are different, hopefully, as a 40-year-old, as a 60-year-old, as an 80-year-old. And you'll see that she fell into the time period herself. So she went back and relived that more than any other subject that we've ever worked with. And so to comb her voice through, to comb the photographs and the archival too, was to give you a seamless way to bring an icon into humanity, into a woman who loved and lost and who kept getting up, to say, you can do that. So the story was that way, and the archival was a pleasure to find. And this man here, tell about how many, after she passed, and you guys gathered photos. Tell about that. Yeah.
I run our family's business, Cagebird Legacy. So all the work that was my grandmother's collection of wonderful books and music and everything kind of all didn't necessarily land at my front door, but eventually got there, and it's at my house now. So we have gone through this, and one of the things we got was 6,000. Something like 6,000 photos, every photo my grandma's ever owned. And it's just been, I can't watch the movie, but I'm around her work every day. And it's like I see Don, and 2 weeks ago, I was looking through a photo album, and I see a picture of him at the birth of my daughter, who's now in college, And it just gives me a great sense of kind of appreciation for being a part of just small cog in this amazing life that was my grandmother, Dr. Maya Angelou. And for me, this movie has been so instrumental because I want everybody to know how amazing my grandmother was. I know you all have your stories, but mine's on the movie screen right now. But she was far more than just someone who wrote a couple of books or made a couple of great speeches or had some cool friends, And when we look at Martin Luther King, we look at Malcolm X, these people lived a third of her life, you know? I mean, who knows what they would have done had they been able to continue their lives. And my grandma was able to live to 86. And so she's had 17 lives within them. She's had, 30 different careers and made an impact in every single one of those careers, including streetcar, conductors. So, I've applauded them for years, and I'm applauding you right now continually for what amazing work this is.